one thing that's very important in the gym, as well as any sports, is your perspective on lifting, your perspective on why you're in the gym. See, many times if you're in a training cycle or you have a number to make in a training cycle, you have to hit a heavy weight, you start dumping pressure on yourself, right? And so you start playing this game with yourself. Am I going to make it? Am I not going to make it? Am I going to make it? And we live in a society that teaches us to like overload, right? Instead of just relaxing and having fun with it. It doesn't matter in the end if you make it. What matters the most is that you put your all. Sometimes you don't make it. You see what I'm saying? So when you heap unnecessary pressure on yourself and start trying to play this game, right? It's very, very dangerous. You stop enjoying what you're doing. You need to take your time sometimes. Sometimes you have to try again. Sometimes you have to do it next week. You see? So pressure is all your own, you inflict it on yourself. You see? You start thinking to yourself, oh, if I don't make it, then I need to get this right, I need to get that right, I need to make sure I this, and I need to make sure I sleep for X amount, I need to make sure I eat that much, and I need to make sure it's too much. This is not realistic. Real life has got nothing to do with making sure you have a perfect, comfortable situation. No, real life is making the best of what you have at that moment. You see, it's the ability to bring the past and the present and the future, to make them collide, to create an event at one point, to let it happen, to let it flow. You see? So, you try to overthink and overload yourself, it's too much. You see? You need to just don't think too much. Just think of unthinking at some point, right? And go and have fun with it. Enjoy it. If you make it, you make it. Many times I fail, you don't see me crying, right? I laugh because I know I put my all into it. I know what I made, what mistake I made many times. You see? Sometimes I'm lifting deadlift, the weight comes forward, I mess up the lift. Because if it's heavy, it's going to pull you back forward. You might not pass the midway, you see? So I know what I did in that point. I know where the weight needs to shift in my foot, right? So, but you never know what happens. I may have a bad day mentally, but in the end, if I make a decision to come in the gym, I'm gonna lift, and if I fail, I fail. I know why I fail. You see? I'm not going to play this overthinking game and heaping up all this ton of, for what? If I have to lift the max lift, so what? And yeah, there's pressure. It's true. But you want to minimize that pressure, not maximize it, right? You don't want to do that, Instead, now you start, you see, we live in a society also that doesn't teach us to be responsible for what we do. If you didn't eat, you got to deal with it. If you didn't sleep, you got to deal. I didn't sleep today. I had to deadlift X amount of weight, over 500, for a couple reps, right? I didn't sleep. I didn't make any excuses. I went there and did the best that I could do. Did I get what I wanted? No, right? I'm still smiling. I'm happy because I know that for doing that, for today, I would have got what I wanted if I had a little bit of a better sleep. You see, better food. That's it, right? So don't overdo everything, right? We don't live perfect life, and we live in a society, a capitalistic society today, where if we don't get something done, we now look for everything else to blame. Take responsibility for the stuff that you do. I take responsibility for what I do. I fail, I failed, right? It's not because I didn't eat the food, I didn't do this, I didn't do that. Those are all secondary issues. The issue is that you need to take responsibility and deal with it. If you fail, you fail. That's it. Nobody cares. In life, if you're in a life and death situation, if you made it through, oh man, I got so lucky. You didn't make it through, you're not here. You see? You don't have any excuses that, I didn't, you don't get a chance to explain why, So stop blaming. We live in a society that teaches us to blame other people except ourselves. See? So let's just take responsibility and deal with it like a grown man. You make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. We very rarely have a perfect day. Many times we have a perfect storm, and then we had to come and lift. You see? But that's a man. A man knows how to deal with that. He knows how to deal with, or a mature person knows how to deal with that kind of pressure. You see? So remember, friends, release the pressure. Don't add more, right? And then don't start blaming everything around you. Okay?